drag and drop emails from your personal email box. You've got your Yammer Notes converted into Word documents, and we're looking at a new app launcher. This is Office 365 Message Center, the week that was, the 6th of November. Hi, this is Daryl as a Service. This is the Office 365 Message Center, the week that was, where we review the admin portal and the Message Center and the admin portal, and we discuss the announcements that have been mentioned. We also look at some of the things that maybe have not been mentioned and talk about some of the news and what sort of chat is going on in the Office 365 Message Center. If you want to tune into the show each week, then do make sure that you hit the subscribe button and you click that little bell. And we're also working on a way to get a calendar invite out so you can drop it in your calendar and plan to attend. Now, I'm Daryl as a Service, and as always, I'm joined by my mate, Daniel Glenn. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. I am feeling much better. For those that were here last week, I was a little under the weather. I am getting better, not all the way better. But yes, I am coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee, the home of all of the award shows. So last week we had, yes, all of them. We had 4. I think we had an award show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think last week. So anyway, big ones like the Inspirational Country Music Awards and then the regular country music. I don't know. Anyway, lots of them. So we have all of them right
all
here.
Of them.
Yes.
Right, all of them. Even like the Miss World.
Well, let's not go into the details. Let's just say we have all of them.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Yep. Cool. Now, yeah, Dan's actually joining us via Teams, so just again a little plug in there for Teams that we are using that now to bring in people from our team as we do shows together. So that's him in full screen. What we're also doing is, because we're using YouTube Live, you have the live chat there if you've joined us, and we have a way of bringing those messages through during the show. So do plug in your questions. We're looking out for those questions. Let me just go on down here and see who's joining us. All good. And then we'll cut over to that and answer some of those questions as we go. Right, so cutting over to the Message Center, because it is a busy week. What did you see coming up in yours? Did you see, 10 messages or so?
There's a lot. And I don't know if it was just maybe they heard us and thought, man, they need a lot more to talk about or what. But yeah, I've got 9 messages, one of which is ta-da, a major update. So that is, something I know you love.
Oh, yeah. Got to see those cards.
Well, we got to have that space used, right? If it's going to be there, let's use it. So, yeah. So we got to get going.
Cool, yeah. We do. And we might just skim over some of them very quickly. We are joined by Mr. Pugin there too. Hello, Internet. Good to see you there, Internet.
Don't do that.
Okay, yeah. Continuing along.
Make me laugh.
So yeah, our first message is quite an interesting one in terms of being able to grab a message from your personal Outlook, or rather your own mailbox in Office 365 and dragging it into an Office 365 group. And the scenario with this is you might have received something from a customer, a partner, and you want to share that with the group. So you within Outlook Web Access, it's only available there or going to be available there at this stage. You'll drag that message in to the shared mailbox for the group. It will not only put the message in there, but it will add the group's address. So any future communications will include the group as well. So think of it like this. Maybe a query comes in and you might say, look, let's just put that to the group. And we loop in the group. And now the group is part of that conversation. So I think that's quite a useful feature. It hasn't appeared in my tenant yet. What have you seen so far with that one? Haven't come across it?
No, I haven't. But I like the idea, and it is just enabling this better communication of having to transition. Maybe how many times have you started off with a conversation or a discussion, or someone else starts it off, and it's in the wrong place, or they don't know that it should be brought into a broader audience. So I think this is great. I will say that I'm like the color commentator. If people haven't figured that out yet on the show, I'm the color commentator. I They're currently working on the feature for Outlook client, or I'm sorry, Outlook for Windows 2016. Um, so I'm thinking that's the Office client. Their naming has thrown me,
Mm.
but I'm really well, I'm not up to here, but I'm up to here with all of the Outlook clients being different. The Outlook on the web, the Outlook thick client, the desktop client comes off,
Hmm.
and the mobile app. I'm just tired of it. And I know they're working on it. I'm ready for them to be finished with getting feature parity. I'm
Yeah.
done. Things like signatures. Oh my God, signatures on the iOS app, for instance, are horrible and compared to the web app. Anyway, so it's great. It's on Outlook for the web, but not in the
Yeah.
client. And I'm like, ugh.
I would ask, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today? You're Mr. Grumpy Daniel today, but this is the middle of the day for you, so gee.
That's right. I haven't had lunch yet, so maybe that's a
Oh
problem.
boy, no. Well, yeah, that's one of the key things is looking after that hunger. Yeah, I know what you mean. Which feature has been announced? Okay, it's available here, but it's not here. That feature is available on the desktop, but it's not there. We all know that. That I'm just laughing at one of Al's comments there.
Be quiet,
Um,
Al.
I know that things are released faster to Outlook on the web because it's not about trying to roll in features into
It,
a
it
product.
is, but we have a great update cycle in Office. I mean, we can get these updates quickly. It's not I'm not picking on this feature, right?
Mm.
It's just now, we've had this conversation of what to use when. We're having
Hmm.
that same conversation, but within the same app.
Yeah, that trouble.
Same service,
Yeah,
Outlook. Okay,
yeah,
wait a minute. I want to drag this message to the group. Oh, I've got to open up a browser and go into Outlook for Web. That's what I mean.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be grumpy. I'm just saying it's I mean, you've got to at least hit the major ones. It's got to be Outlook for Web and the desktop. They have to be quickly in sync because now we're going to have those conversations. Oh, did you know you can do this? Yeah, but I've never seen it before.
Mm.
Well, it's because I'm not Outlook on the web because I use Office like most people. They have
Yeah,
Outlook thick client. So
yeah.
anyway,
Well, I've got
moving.
I've got one that's saved in the barrels there for stuff that has happened that hasn't been announced in the
Yeah.
message center. So we'll keep cruising along.
Okay.
Um, just a quick note here about Yammer Notes. Okay, so as
Yes.
part of this vision to get Yammer using SharePoint online rather than the Yammer files individually, they're going to be converting the notes soon. So Yammer Notes are a co-authoring kind of tool. They also have versioning, but they are an entirely separate experience from SharePoint Online. So there is this conversion process that's going to go on. It'll turn it into a Word document. Now, at that stage, it's an interim thing. It's actually a backward step because you can't actually bring the history with you to the document itself, and you're basically working on that document from there on in Word. Maybe it's not a backward step. I remember when I was reading it, I thought this feels like there's an interim thing that's going on, and it's still a bit hobbled. But it's
Um. So, but we're not getting. You just said we're not getting the previous versions.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think that's now that I think
Right.
about it,
Yep.
I'm reading it out and I'm thinking about it. Is that's the only drawback that
That's right. Yeah.
you can type in the document at the same time, so it's still that kind of co-authoring experience that you had with the Yammer Note, which you could do.
Right.
It's now
Right.
just it's native and part of Word Online.
So how are we
Um,
going to get this integrated with our teams? That's what I want to know. Because once you do that, and I have these documents in Teams,
mhm.
then um, I can chat, persistent chat along with the document.
Mm. Yeah, and so when you
Yeah.
have chosen Yammer as your group experience,
Yep,
let's say
that's right.
you've gone, then that is your conversation experience.
Right.
You can bring in another Yammer group, and it will be
Hmm.
part of a tab. But that conversation experience, once you've chosen it, very much align with that choice. And I don't think you'll have that document conversation experience with Yammer and with Teams if you're using both.
Right.
We'll see.
I don't know. Yep.
But yeah, just to note that's happening sort of early December, and then after the 12th of December, it looks like there'll be you won't be able to create those notes, Yammer Notes anymore, and everything will be accessed via Word Online.
We're saving any commentary on Yammer for some other time, right? So
yeah.
Moving right along.
Plenty of time for that.
That's right.
New buttons in SharePoint Online, lists and library Webparts. What can you tell us about that, Dan?
Yeah. They're new buttons.
Yeah.
No, it is allowing you to create new items and upload items directly in the web part when it's used on a SharePoint Online page. So this is a little different than before. If you just used the out-of-the-box web part, that wasn't easy. So these actions were limited to the primary page. So where most people, think about going into the document library, it's actually just a view of the document library. But anyway, going into the document library, we would have those new and upload. Now we're able to have them on the web parts. So it's good. Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's not a huge update, but I like it. I mean, this is a good thing.
Yeah, I often found end users were getting a little confused about when on the classic sites you had the library that was embedded on the page, and that's all it was, just the embedded library, and they felt like they were in the library, but they weren't. The interim stage of like classic site, click into the library, modern view, it's all transitioning.
Yeah, it's I have that conversation all the time about you go into an organization, you see department pages, and it has about 25 web parts on the page, on their home page. It's because if it's not on the home page, it doesn't exist. So that's kind of people start off thinking that way. So anyway, Yep.
I might try out this quick comment capability, because there's a good comment that Al has made. Let's try this out here. So it transitions over. We've got, there you go. If you are viewing with us, then you'll see. I'm trying to work out how to magnify that. But Al says that they do need to add the send to option to the modern library experience. I think there's something that kind of achieves the same thing there, isn't there? When you can move a document to a different library. What do you think Al's leading to there?
I think that just the other menu option. I think that's the thing we're talking about there.
Yeah,
we've got the new
option.
and the upload, and now it's send to. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it'll be added to the web part. So that's probably something they may bring in there too. That's cool.
Right.
Thanks, Al, for your question. Next caller. No.
Push number 3. I think on line 3
right.
We have call from Minnesota.
Yeah, call from Minnesota. Hello, Minnesota. Moving up the list because we've got about 9 items to get through.
Yeah, keep going.
There's a quick mention there about. This is an Intune one. We won't even really mention that one because it's part of my subscription. Just that there's you can manage your Android devices, personal and work devices separately. You can take this one. So Microsoft Flow in OneDrive for Business.
Yep. So this is something we've been told for a while would be coming, is the ability to use Microsoft Flow in OneDrive for Business. And here's our announcement. Yay. So it's gradually rolling out this month, November 2017. So this is a great step because Flow, when was first introduced, there was a lot of people saying, well, I can't use it as a organizational thing, and because I need it for personal, and so they were creating libraries just for them, which is kind of defeats the purpose of the team site collaboration aspect. And so this is a great feature for us to be able to create our own flows for OneDrive for Business. Things about, if you're sharing a lot, you might want to create a flow saying, when a document is changed, do this. So there's a lot of use cases there, and I think I'll be probably putting together a presentation on this, and
Great.
submitting it out to the conferences, because I think this is a great topic for personal this personal productivity is the word I was thinking
Mm,
about. Just getting
mm.
people, even more automated, even more having to not having to go into OneDrive and say, has this document been updated, open it up, and all that kind of stuff. So I know you get alerts to say things are updated. I mean, that's just one use case,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, so it's good.
Well, with my adoption kind of hat on, and thinking about how many people are adopting using Flow that are just regular people, regular users, I can see some great benefits in this at this level. People can do it for their own OneDrive. Whereas there's probably this mental barrier in the sense that when it's flow and creating a flow on a document library that's shared with a team, someone who's new to flow would be a bit more reserved at trying these sorts of things out because they're affecting everyone's experience. Whereas in OneDrive, they can try it out, they can get those suggestions of the templates, they can try some of that automation out and get some familiarity. So yeah, I think that's a good move there too.
I think it is. It also introduces the governance and over the administration kind of, I don't want to say nightmare, but I mean, this is just another thing that you're going to have to keep in mind. And that's why we do this show, basically, is
Mm,
to call these things out, is to say, if you're going to have a bunch of users creating flows in OneDrive for Business, it's going to do things to your environment. Like if everyone's going to create alerts for when documents are updated or when documents are uploaded or whatever, when they're expiring, and it will introduce more email, right?
mm,
So if you've rolled out 365, OneDrive for Business for your organization, for your users, and now they've uploaded all their documents, you've gone through the the pain of what that might be, and now they're creating all these alerts. You're going to get an outside service sending email to you and to your
mm.
internal. So there's a lot of additional things here. You just have to keep in mind. So
Yeah.
we need to point that out.
And there are admin controls provided for dialing certain things down and allowing things to happen. I think there's a similar announcement further along too that we can look into. Right, so because we do have a major update, this is the experience of the view of that major update, and that is really pointing out that we have a new Office 365 app launcher. So your announcement, of course, looks different. You've got this. You've got at least 25 days while it remains in first release, and this is a countdown timer for you as an admin to get some kind of messaging out there to say, hey users, expect to see this. This is what it will look like. So good to see that there. Has it arrived in your tenant?
It has not arrived in my tenant. I was just looking at that today.
Mm.
The um, I'm all for it, kinda. Um, so I do like that there's color. At least in this screenshot in the announcement, there's color to the items rather than
Yeah.
you and I both. I think we wink wink. We know that there was some discussion about there not being color there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see the color. I'm just this kind of leads me down to yet another step of this is great for an app launcher. I just hope that the app launcher comes to all the services eventually,
Right.
like Stream and everything
While
else.
while
So,
we're talking color, let's cut again to live chat. We've had Jeremy Fake join us.
oh,
He
great,
prefers
Jeremy.
he prefers
Yes,
the
yes, he
Gothic
does.
app launcher. So this being, of course, the grey look, and you'll hover over, and maybe there's color, maybe there's not. So yeah, okay, nice touch. And you're a
Hmm.
man of you appreciate the color. That's cool. I think that one thing that was talked about in this announcement too, and if you're going through to the additional information, you are trying first of all to make sure that everyone's prepared for this new look and feel. The apps that you use most frequently will start to get some history over 30 days, and it's going to present the most frequently used apps in this app launcher right there. You have further ability to control this. You can pin the apps there if you want them to stay there. there'll be, I think, in the education space, then there'll be those apps promoted to start with as well. So yeah, all about trying to make that experience interesting and useful. I was going to ask you a question. Oh, there you go. We've got you in between sips. What about the document side of this in the app launcher? Do you see that being quite useful for end users?
Most definitely. I to get your, and I just had this conversation end of last Thursday with an organization about. Um, I'm a huge fan of an internet homepage because people want to see news. They want to see, what the organization finds important to communicate, rather than getting an email, right? Telling big long email that no one ever reads. I'm a big fan of the homepage, so that's why I roll out intranets based on Valo and other services, but or developing myself. But this gives us that capability of, what is it? If you were just using that document, or you were just on that site like yesterday, there's I can't remember the percentage, but there's a huge high percentage likelihood that you're going to be using that document, or you're going to be wanting to go to that site again, and that's why you're here. So the SharePoint homepage and now the app launcher are going to give you some of that information, rolling it up to you. I think it's great because it is true. If I was on a site yesterday, there's a high probability I'm going to go to that site again. Same with documents. If I'm still working on something, it's great to have it quick access rather than having to go dig. Now, people work differently, so I actually, I usually open up, if I'm looking for a document I just worked on, I open up the Office app and it's there in my recent, and I just go from there. But not everybody works that way, so it's helpful.
Yeah, this will definitely be helpful for those who are using the browser most of the time. And some organizations have certainly guided their people towards doing that. For various reasons, shared devices, sometimes the education space, if they're in a lab, they don't necessarily have roaming profiles, all those sorts of reasons. Most recent documents, maybe we'll see search there eventually. That would be quite useful once search gets all hooked up across all the different experiences. I think that it's a good move, and good to let your people know that change is coming. We better move on up, keep on moving. Idle session timeout preview available in SharePoint Online and OneDrive for Business. And the interesting one here, I'll just pass this comment before I get you to talk about it. There's while our goal is to ensure that we do notify you, is that templated answer about upcoming changes. We acknowledge we didn't quite tell you in time, so it is generally available. But what is it, Dan? What is this idle timeout?
This is the timeout for connecting to your services. So when you're inactive in your sessions for SharePoint and OneDrive for Business, it's kind of security. I lump it all in that security bucket. That's my commentary.
No, that's
because
cool.
I had the same comment as you. Was. We acknowledge that we kind of missed on this one. Okay. Yeah. Well,
I looked at this closer because I thought it related to the other one that we talked about a week or two back, where that announcement previously was all about trying to make sure that we have less times having to log in. Keep me logged in. It is kind of related to that. However, it looks like if we go through the additional information, Bill there had done a bit of a blog post on techcommunity.microsoft.com, the SharePoint blog there, and it's also about trying to have a way of reducing the document libraries that might be open, OneDrives that might be open on shared devices, so kiosk devices, and maybe machines that are sitting in lunchrooms, that you can dial this down so that with a few commands you can say after about 5 minutes or so it's going to break or rather end that session. So then even if you forget, you walk away, it's there. There's it will obey that setting that if you log in and you tick the box to say keep me signed in, then it will respect that, so it will then keep that timeout away. But there is some smarts in there. I was reading about it. Some smarts in there that if it is a shared device, there is a way of signifying that or it being detected, so that it won't offer the keep me signed in tick box. I wonder how that works. That'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
Yep, good move, and a good one to read about to get your understanding and ideas around what you're going to do on your shared devices.
Yeah, and this is again perfect point of why we do this show is this this announcement is to keep you informed so you can make better decisions and plan.
Yep, absolutely. We have planned maintenance for Yammer.
Except
we know
that,
what that
they
is.
didn't notify us beforehand. But anyway.
yeah. So now that you've got it, this is what it is, and let your people know what they're seeing now.
Yep.
We have reassigned sways to people.
Wait.
Yeah. What? So
you skipped over Yammer.
well, there wasn't much to say. It was just Yammer's having planned maintenance.
Well, of course, there's something to say here.
Okay.
We need the Yammer announcements written by the same people who write the Skype for Business ones, because this is one of those blips, and it doesn't actually say the word blip.
No, they copy it from a different template, don't they? So Yammer doesn't call them blips.
No,
this is called
it just calls it a short period of time.
It's called a maintenance jam.
Mm-hmm.
Not a yam jam.
I saw what
Your maintenance jam is between November.
Okay.
Yep, dad joke right there. I make no apologies. Yep. Moving on up to that Sway announcement. So this is a scenario where Sway, when it first came out, there were various things that it could do, and everyone was asking where are these documents stored, and how do we share them, and how do we allow people to work on them, and feature after feature, it gradually sort of came out to being a bit more in parity with what people do. However, reassigning sways. When someone leaves your organization and they have their Office 365 account deleted or locked or discontinued or whatever, those sways are sitting out somewhere in a space. Are you tired there? You look like you're swaying to and fro.
I'm just bored. I'm sorry. I am color commentating today. Sorry. I just dislike Sway greatly.
I was a big proponent of it, and I used it as a blog kind of platform for 6 months from docs.com, which is also, docs.com has been sunsetted.
Killed in about, a month? December 15th. Yep.
Yeah.
I just say, if someone leaves and they were creating sways, it's probably because you fired them anyway because they were using Sway. Ooh. And I'm just that was a joke. Seriously, that was a joke. Oh crap! I'm in trouble. I know
you are in trouble, man. And you know what? I don't have a buzzer or a bleeper or something.
Can we go back and edit that? Anyway, if someone leaves and they were creating sways, this was your scenario. You just said, "Don't bother with PowerShell. Just let the sways die." That's my advice.
Okay. The one place that I think that you would find it very useful is education space.
Education? No. I was just about to say, unless you're in education, and then if you are, education and some marketing, I've heard, may use it. So if you are there, then yes, this is great for you. Sorry, I'm focused on a lot of business users, and so yes, education.
Yeah. Education, you can rescue that sway and reassign it to a teacher and therefore another classroom. It's a resource that you can reuse, and away we go. But yeah, good to see that feature. It is available in PowerShell to trigger off a new way to access.
That's wonderful.
PowerShell, yeah. So the teacher,
the teacher needs to learn PowerShell so she can come out there and go,
No, that's not it. New way to access the security and compliance reports. So that was sitting in Exchange Admin Center and a couple of other places, and that's all been further consolidated into the Office 365 Security and Compliance Center. I don't know if there's much more to say apart from that. Jeremy, what's this one? It's Sway. Oh, okay. Yeah, just reading Jeremy's comment about Sway before we move on further. Users mapped to Snapchat users. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he has a comment about, I think maybe me losing my MVP since I poo pooed on Sway. So, um, it's not. I
You're
don't
not a
have an
Snapchat
MVP in
user though.
Sway. Well, I'm not either. And anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
A sway chat. We'll have a sway
We let
chat app
Jeremy
soon, won't we?
we let Jeremy distract us.
Yeah. Derailing. That's my
Hmm.
name. There's a what's this? MDM. Okay, that's another in-tune announcement
Yep.
for my channel, or rather. So again, this is just highlighting that I've got this stuff and my tenant Dan doesn't, so he won't see it.
No, no,
Away
no,
we
no,
go.
no.
Yeah, no, no,
Yep.
no, yep, that's right. I think, yeah, and that is it. Like, so that was
Wait,
the Intunes. Yeah, that's it for me.
wait.
What?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Did you
Oh, we
have some
didn't see this
others?
one. I do. I have updated feature, new way to access security and compliance reports. Do you
Oh,
not have this?
well,
Huh?
that's this one.
Which one?
Yeah, we briefly talked about it, and I just said it was
No, no,
just, yeah.
no.
Surely
Okay,
that's the
you could
same
say
one.
yeah. Mine is
Yeah.
MC124604. That is not the
Yes.
same one, my friend.
What does your one say?
Do you want me? Do we have the capability of me sharing the screen and not totally screwing up the production?
You go ahead and do that, and I'll move your face and
Well, we
therefore
don't
your
have to.
screen.
I could just talk about it if
Go for
I
it.
know
Go for it.
it gets crazy. No, I don't know, man. All right, fine, I'll do it. But
Do it. Do it.
all
Do
right,
it.
you see my screen?
I do, and I'll move that.
Ooh, I feel a little ashamed. I have OneNote open, and I'm sorry, I have Notepad
Whoa.
open instead of OneNote. Oh well.
Where did I put it?
Um,
Um,
yeah. So this is a new way to access the security and compliance reports. This is instead of the Exchange Admin Center and the Office 365 Admin Center. They're now in the Security and Compliance Admin Center. So that's I'm seeing this is from November 9th.
yep.
You see this?
Yep. Audience, do you
I,
see
I,
it too? It's the same
I,
number, isn't it?
is it?
Oh yeah, and it's the same announcement.
No, it's not. Yours says Intune. Oh my God, I'm
Oh no, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. There were some in-tune announcements above that.
okay. I'm
I
clicking.
had very
I'm done.
quickly moved
I'm
on
done.
from
I'm
this.
done. I'm done. So I was not. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
It's okay. It's okay.
Trouble now.
In so much
Gosh.
trouble. No. Well, look. Let's move on to just one other thing that
Yeah.
has not been in the message center, but much jubilation. I know Fakey is happy about this, among others too.
Thank
Is
you.
the return of Find Time. Did you use Find Time? What is Find Time, Dan?
I did. Find time is great when you're trying to schedule time with those outside of your organization, trying to figure out when would be a good time to meet. And
Mm-hmm.
we have other services that we all use and can never remember the name of the website to go to send the invite. At least me, I do. Um, so this is good. We used it and then they said, we're killing it. I'm like, wait a minute, but
Yeah.
now it's back.
Yep. Yeah, so history of it was a experiment from the Microsoft Garage. That's the place where Microsofties, if they haven't had enough of coding during the day, they can code their own experiments and they may actually make it into production. This one
Yeah.
definitely did. Got absorbed into Office 365, so it was no longer just a third sort of service. Has an add-in for Outlook. And what seemed to be
Outlook.
happening to start with, so it was Outlook on the web and it was Outlook on desktop,
Right.
but not the Office. The Outlook mobile app. So yeah, back to our point earlier,
Yeah.
it's you've got this, but it's not in all experiences yet. And what initially was happening was it was being renamed, or I guess recreated, as Find a Time, and there was no add-in. So everyone was like, "Oh, where's the add-in? And why is it only available in Outlook Web Access?" You go back to the Find Time page, and it said, "We're going to be closing this down. The add-in won't be working. Thanks for playing. Look for it here." And after the community outcry and the popularity of Find Time, it is back. The add-in works, And let me just see if I can dig this out for you.
Oh, great! You're going to show us all your company
I
your email.
am
It's
No,
wonderful.
it's all right. Yeah, this is just my MVP
Hey,
tenant.
don't show my, that email I sent you earlier about
Oh,
Jeremy. Don't show that
about
one.
you? Yeah, not at all, not at all. So I have added find time.
Or Alistair. Oh my goodness, don't show that one either. Oh,
No, yeah, don't show that either. That's true. Let's make that list. Or the one about IRD and my tax. So start a reply by opening before opening find time. Oh yeah, that was smart, Daryl. Let's reply. Now we can use the find time add-in. And the effect of it really is, if I wanted to have a meeting with 5 or 6 people, then I'm going to, as the meeting organizer, suggest 2 or 3 times. People will vote for that time that they want. It can all be automated so that the one that receives the most votes becomes the appointment time, and then the appointment can be automatically created. You give the option too for people to suggest times other than those that are on the list. And something that hasn't really worked for me very well was it making also the online meeting. So if I signified that to say it's an online meeting, I want that. It wasn't necessarily doing that, but that's back. It's in Outlook Web Access, and it is I don't know what, maybe it's called a new generation Office app, but when I go to Outlook, it's the same experience there. It feels like it's driven from the web, and I can trigger that same kind of experience off.
it's all good, man. It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and like I think that was worthy of being in the message center, but maybe I don't know. Why wouldn't you put it there? To me, it would be a major update, but no, it's not. It's not something that changes the user experience for everyone. You have to opt in to get it.
Yeah,
And
but you have to opt in some things that show up in the message center too. So
yeah,
I agree with you. It should have been. I don't know if maybe I don't know if this is true, but it seems like one of those egg in your face kind of deals of,
yeah,
oh, we took it away and we maybe shouldn't have, so
yeah.
let's
Maybe
slip it
shouldn't have.
back in.
Sorry about that, but here it is. It's back again.
Yep.
And the way I came across this was a very observant person in the tech community did let us know. Oh, look, it's working again. My add-in's working again. So everyone was like, oh, really? And we all verified it. So just if you wanted to know where to find that, you can go into
There was an
the
official announcement too.
settings. Yes, it
So,
did become
yep.
official eventually. There was that Outlook tweet that you found that
Yep.
went through to the Find Time page that was all livened up. And there we have Find Time, so it's literally just switch it on. Search it
Hmm.
out if you need to, but it is one of the
Right.
suggested add-ins. Did you have anything that of note that you
I did
observed this
not.
week? No?
Nope. No, I think
No.
that one's a big enough one to where we
Yeah,
can say
yeah.
yes.
Let's just cut over to a few last comments before we close out the show. So yeah, a bit of chatter, okay, standing ovation. So Jeremy was pretty happy about that. Where's your hyperbot? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's that Cortana experience too of being a message brokering service. So it's delayed, eh? So that's the main thing that people comment about that one, is it just takes so long for that brokerage to go through.
Mhm.
Poll for a meeting is still there for Outlook and the web. Yeah, so I've got that experience too, Jeremy, that I've got that find art time is still there because I activated it and turned it on for one user in my tenant, and it I haven't swapped your face over. Oh, have I been showing that the whole time? Oh, never mind. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I'm not important. Don't
You're
worry.
not
I'm like
important. Yeah,
I'm like
where
the
is your
voice in the
face?
background. I'm in the voice of wisdom
Yeah, yeah.
or something in the background.
Danielson. Well, that was Office 365 message into the week that was the 6th of November, November 6th. Joined with Daniel Glenn. We had some fun with chat and stuff, so it looks like some of these transitions are working. We did go way over time, but thank you for hanging in there with us, audience. And it looks like we are back on YouTube. Yeah, just a passing last comment there. I tried to do a little promo and use the word promo in a YouTube live stream went to go live and talk about, hey, read these stories from regarding365.com, and while you're at it, this is what we're doing this week. But because I used the word promo, the YouTube Autobots detected it as spam and put a bad mark against our channel and said, nope, you can't live stream for 90 days. I said, what the? Anyway, we're back.
Lots of language. Daryl.
What
the family show.
What the fingers? I'm giving them no, never mind. So yeah, message end of the week that was. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you again next week. Bye for now.
Bye.